Yes.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to call to order the code enforcement hearing agenda for December 2nd, 2020 for the city of West Palm Beach. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the special magistrate appointed by the city to preside over today's agenda. Before we begin, if you'll make sure your cell phones are silenced so they don't interrupt the proceedings audibly, that will be appreciated. If you're going to be speaking to me today about any of the matters on our agenda, you do need to be sworn in. I can place everyone under oath at the same time. If you'll please stand and raise your right hands if you're able. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you very much. You can all have a seat. For respondents that are present, when your case is called, if you'll come up to the podium to my right, the way we'll proceed is that after your case is called, I'll hear from the city first, take testimony and whatever documentary or photographic evidence the city has regarding the matter. After the city has presented its case and made any recommendations for a resolution, I will then hear from the respondent. You'll be able to tell me anything you feel is relevant about the case. If you have additional documents or additional photographs that you'd like me to look at, that will be the time to show them to both the city and to myself. Once I've heard everything from everybody involved, I will in all likelihood enter an order today that resolves the matter in some form or fashion. So that is how we will proceed. We'll start with I guess either the building cases or the folks where we have respondents present, however the sign-in sheets are set up. So let's go ahead and get started.
First case number 1530 32nd Street, CE 200400125. Number 1530 32nd Street.
Good morning.
Good morning. Richard McCoy with the City of West Palm Beach Building Department.
Can I get you a little closer to the microphone? It's very muffled.
Is that better?
That's a little better, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Richard McCoy with Building Department, Building Inspector. I cited the property for work done without a permit on premises. They had applied for it, it's ready for pickup, but they never picked it up. So they were, the NOV was presented on 11/16 through certified mail and on site. So I'm recommending 60 days to pick up the permit and then $50 a day after that.
So it's been issued, they just haven't picked it up?
It's been approved,
They've
it's
been
ready
approved.
for issue, yes.
Right, it's been approved but not, okay,
All they have to do is pay and pick it up.
gotcha. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? All right, regardless, based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find proper notice. I will also find the property remains in violation as cited and accept the city's recommendation. I'll allow an additional 60 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. Thank you very much.
Number 6, 1820 North Congress Avenue, CE 200900322. Number 6, 1820 North Congress Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Attilio Bilal, Plumbing Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. Property was initially cited on 9/14/20 by Inspector Tim Large. I'm representing this case for him. The property was cited for floor drains installed in common areas and laundry rooms without permit or inspections. We received proper notice by posting on site and certified mail. They have applied for the permit, permit number 201111003. It's paid and waiting to be issued. Permits to be issued within 7 days or $25 a day fine.
7 days or how long or how much?
$25 a day.
5, thank you. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? All right, there is not. I do nevertheless find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 7 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $25 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 7, 627 39th Street, CE 20110211. Number 7, 627 39th.
Attilio Bilal, Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. Property was initially cited November 19th, 2020, for a structure being occupied without permit, without permanent water source. The structure needs to obtain a permanent water source. I believe within 24 hours, or it shall be vacated. City is requesting immediate board and secure, or provide permanent source of water.
So is there no electricity either?
No.
No water, no
No, sir.
electricity? And we have people occupying the...
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent? Any of the tenants or residents present? Okay. I will find proper notice. I'll find this is a health, safety, and welfare violation. Based on the testimony and the evidence, the violation remains as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation. I'm going to allow 24 hours for compliance. Thereafter, the property needs to be vacated. If that does not occur in 24 hours, the city is authorized to enter the property, board and secure, and cure the health, safety, welfare violations as necessary.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Number 12, 3731 Miller Avenue, CE 20080129. Number 12, 3731 Miller.
Attilio Bilal, Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. Property was initially cited August 6th of 2020 for a new fence installed without proper permit or inspections. We received proper notice via certified mail and posting on site. Permit number 2009-0941 has been applied for but not issued. City's requesting receive a permit within 30 days or $50 a day after.
So it's the fence. The only thing we're talking about is the unpermitted fence.
Yes.
All right. Okay, it looks like we have a respondent present. Sir, if you can tell me your name and address.
Mark Jenkins, 3731 Miller Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Go ahead.
Okay, so the fence, this fence was existing, and I did put new panels up, but the posts were existing, and I did apply for a permit. This is a double front road property, so the fence can only be 4 foot high, so it has to be lowered. I already got a critique on it, but I also have a project in the back that I'm doing. I'll be done within about 30 days. And when I talked to the building inspector, when I was doing one of the inspections for the guest suite in the back or the AC storage, he told me that you really don't even need to get a permit because the fence was already there. All you did was replace the bad panels. And I said, well, I was cited for it. I got to go ahead and get the permit. I was working with Sonia Benz on a previous citation, so I'm going to go ahead and do the permit. And he said, okay, that's fine. So I guess this guy came by and saw that the fence was done without a permit, but those panels were there prior to. It's just they were in such disarray, like some of the pickets were falling off, and I wish I had a before picture to show you, but I don't. But I'm going to get the permit within 30 days. I got to revise it. It can't be 6 feet. It has to be 4 feet because this is the double front road property.
Okay.
It has a front road in the back and a front road in the front, of course. And with fences that have on front roads, it can only be 4 foot high. So the fence isn't even, when I bought the property, this fence was there, It wasn't even to code. And just so you know, the other two properties adjacent to me to the south have the same issue. They have a 6-foot fence, and it has to be legal because they're supposed to be 4 foot high.
Okay.
So I bought the property with this fence there, and you can see some of the construction debris from the project that I'm doing in the back that I'm getting close to being finished with.
Yep.
But if he gives me the 30 days, like he said, I'll have the permit within 30 days.
All right.
So there shouldn't be a problem.
Anything else, Mr. Belisle?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't have any problem with the 30 days either, so I do find proper notice in this case. Mr. Jenkins is present, and the city has proper notice documents on file. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will grant the 30 days to have the permit issued. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Understood.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Jenkins? Right here.
Oh, sorry.
It's case number 11-912 45th Street, CE 20110114, number 11-912 45th Street.
Good morning.
Good morning, Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 912 45th Street was cited on 11/12/20. The property and City Hall were posted on 11/13/20, and certified mail was sent on 11/13/20. The property was cited for 18-106B, 18-265, and 34-102B. I've had contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 10 days or $100 per day.
Are all alleged violations still in existence?
They still remain.
Okay. All right, let me hear from the respondent. Good morning, sir. If you could tell me your name and address, please.
Good morning, Mamet Gorin. The address for the property is 912 45th Street. My address is 1908 Shoma Drive. I already talked to Ms. Clark. I took off the boards on the window, on the door, the sliding doors. I put air in the tires of the car, just waiting for the car's key so I can move it. My sister's in New York, so I'm just waiting for that. And I'm gonna tell the lawn person to clean up the back today, so I'll schedule that.
Okay, the city is recommending 10 additional days to get that done. Do you see any problem with that?
I was trying to get a little longer just in case I can't get the key for the car from my sister. I already put air in the tires and everything. The grass will be done this week. And like I said, the board, I don't know, by the boarding, is it just those plywoods? Or, because, it's an old lady that lives in the house, so she puts down those shutters, the white parts.
The shutters are fine.
They're
they just
fine.
can't
Okay,
be
yeah, the
boarded.
boards are already taken off. I have a picture, like I said, that I took this morning before I came here. So the boards are taken off, and the tires on the car are pumped up and everything. So I'm just waiting for my sister so I get a key for the car.
Okay.
And the grass will be taken care of also.
Okay, just
This week for sure.
once everything's done, you need to make sure you let Ms. Clark know so they can come out and inspect it and
Yeah.
sign off on it.
Like I said, the only thing I'm waiting on is the key. So she's in New York, but her house is here. I don't have a key to her house.
Okay. I'm inclined to give you a little more time. I'll give you 2 weeks.
Thank you.
It's 14 days. Anything else from the city?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, so I do find proper notice in this case. Respondent is present. I will find the property remains in violation as cited based on the testimony and the evidence, and I will allow an additional 14 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance
Thank
is
you. Just quick question. In the back, I just saw like the trees and stuff. You want the trees cut down also?
It just has to be trimmed so it doesn't look
Okay.
abandoned.
All right, so it's just the back part that
Not
was the
like
problem.
cut the tree down, just.
No, I
trim.
know. Just trim the dead leaves and stuff. Trim those, and that's it.
Yes.
Got you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 2810 McIntosh Street, CE 201-00350, number 2810 McIntosh Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Richard Pezimino, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on October 27th, 2020. Certified mail was sent October 28th, 2020. In addition, it was hand delivered to the property manager November 2nd, 2020. This property was cited for 105.1, failure to secure building permit. The garage at the property has been converted into a second unit without obtaining the required permits. 110.3, required inspections for that work done without permit. 18106A, clean and sanitary conditions. 18106G, exterior paint. 18162A, rental license violation. 2232A, certificate of use required. Garbage can placement, fence wall maintenance, and restrictions upon land use. I've had contact with the property manager, the property owner, discussed all violations and how to come into compliance with the issues at the property. As of today, the only two remaining issues are 105.1 and 110.3. All other violations have come into compliance. I've had contact with the owner. They're doing a property search at the moment to try to find out when the property was converted into a second unit. They're either trying to keep it as a second unit or convert it back, depending on what the property search turns up. So the city's recommending 120 days to come into compliance, to either convert it back to a second unit, or to get the required permits and work done and inspections to legalize it, or to convert it back to a garage.
Okay.
If not, the city's asking for a $100 a day fine. And
So based on what you're telling me, is 94-6 complied, or is that still in violation?
it complied since it was being rented as a 2-unit, and it's only
And that-
1 unit allowed.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
yeah.
All right, and it looks like we have the respondents present. Let me, if you folks can tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
My name is Mahadevi Prasad. The address is 8 Ted McIntosh for the property, and my address is 13039 62nd Court North in West Palm Beach.
Okay, what would you like to tell me about the case?
The property, we purchased it that way. We was not aware it was a garage that converted to a rental and second unit. And we trying to do the property search on it, waiting on the document to come back to take care of that. All the other violation was corrected.
Okay, I mean, the city is suggesting 4 months, basically, to get this resolved. Does that sound like a time frame that you can
We were trying to get
accomplish?
6 months because they said they need a lot of time to get the document back to us.
You're asking for 6, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, does the city have any objection to 180 days?
No.
All right, I don't either. I have no problem with doing the 180 days instead of the 120. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
I don't know, we bought the property like that, and we was trying to investigate it, for the second unit, and everyone around there told us the property was built that way, and it is a second unit. When we went to the utility department, they told us it was a second unit also, so they did consider it as a second unit, first and second. So we was trying to get that, comply with it, the code department to comply with it as a second unit.
Yeah, I don't have the answer for you. I'll tell you, you're not the first person that's come through here with that question on some of these older properties. I don't know, but if there's anything else from the city?
No. Hopefully that property search comes up with something, but if not, it would just need the required permits and inspections to
Okay,
either legalize it or to convert it back.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Anything else, folks?
Yes, I want to add something.
Let me get your name.
My name is Mahadev Ramcharan. My living address is 13039 62nd Court North, West Palm Beach. The property we discussing is 810 McIntosh. The property was, the neighbors, they told me the property was like that since the 1960s. It was designed like that. And we're not fighting the issue that it's not a illegal property, because it was designed like that, everything, a car could, they say it's a garage, but a car cannot fit in there as a garage. And you have everything, set you up like a in-law suite, so.
Well,
So we asking if, we gonna try to get a process of the grandfather in the property like that, possibility?
well, that issue is outside of my authority to grant. There's other people at the city you have to talk to about that. But for code enforcement purposes, it sounds like
Yeah, the property
got
card.
most of this resolved, and I'm happy to give you the 6 months to finish the outstanding issues.
Okay.
All right. So in this case, I will find proper notice. We'll find the property remains in violation of City Code Sections 105.1 and 110.3, but has complied with all other sections that were cited in the notice. I will allow an additional 180 days to resolve the outstanding violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 54, 1801 Spruce Avenue, CE 201000044. Number 54, 1801 Spruce Avenue.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on October 2nd, certified mail was sent out, was signed for on October 14th. Property and City Hall were posted on October 13th. Property was cited for 18162A and 2232A. I've had contact with the property manager. At this time, the city's requesting an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, has anything been applied for, or?
Yeah, they applied for it. We just haven't had the time to set up inspections. I think last time we spoke, he did tell me 5 of the units are going through eviction processes. So that's where we're at with that.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Morning, Alejandro Jimenez, my residence, 9703 Stillwater Court, Tampa, Florida, 33618. I'm the authorized representative of Jack Realty, the owner of 1801 Spruce. We applied for the city rental license back on October 23rd. Already the fee was paid for $893.90. As part of the process, we already obtained the state license for non-transient apartments for the 18 units, which was renewed yesterday, and it's effective with an expiration date of December 1st, 2021. Also, as part of the process, we're required for the fire department to do the inspection, which was already passed by the fire department. The only thing missing at this point is having the city do the code inspection. Cassandra, the code enforcement officer, she gave us a list of the items that we need to address. In general aspects, we've been addressing this issues on the building to bring it to accordance before we request the inspection and have to be back and forth on inspections. With COVID, we have had issue accessing 5 of the units, and we're on the eviction process of a couple of the units. So we would request, I had spoken with the officer about 30 days, but taking into account the holidays, if it would be possible to obtain 45 days to be in compliance and request that final inspection.
Okay, I have no problem with a 45-day compliance deadline. Does the city have any issue with that?
No, we're good.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Anything else you'd like to tell me?
The documentation regarding the state license and so forth, should I be able to provide it as part of the record?
If you'd like to, I'm happy to look at that if you'd like me to.
I think that's updated once they do your rental license.
Okay.
I think they have access.
Okay,
I
okay.
completely believe that you've done all that, so it sounds like this is pretty close to being wrapped up.
Thank you.
All right, I will find proper notice. Respondent is present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow an additional 45 days to get the compliance achieved. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. Okay, thank you very much.
Sir, here's a copy of your order. Number 57, 1015 19th Street, CE 201000432. Number 57, 1015 19th Street.
Morning.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on October 31st. Certified mail was signed for on November 4th. Property and City Hall were posted November 12th. I've had no contact with the property owner. The property was cited for 18116A, 18214B, 18215B, 18265, 74-4C4, and 74-4C5. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 10 days for code sections 74-4C4 and 74-4C5, or $50 per day, and 30 days for the remaining violations, or $50 per day.
Did you ask for $50 per day on the first
And,
set?
yeah, for both, $50 for both, yeah.
Okay, let me hear from the respondents. Good morning.
Good morning, how you doing?
Let me get your name and address.
Octavius Wilkins, 1015 19th Street.
Mr. Wilkins, go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to say that we've cut back the trees. But what I can understand from the notice, it was saying that we needed to cut back the trees, the hedges. That's already been done. The place has been boarded up already, as you can see in the photos. Those are the only two things I've seen in the citing that we received through certified mail. As far as trash, as you can see, we have the vegetation out front. The city hasn't picked it up yet. We have an active account. We called and made a complaint for it to be picked up. Also, my mother is the owner of the property at the current time. There's a current assessed value of $500,000 on a property that's not even worth 10, which is, I would say, is cruelly unusual punishment, especially considered a widow. My father, who owned the property, was suffering depression. He was a Vietnam vet. She receives his benefits to this day, but right now she's using that money to survive on, and also, right now she's paying a bankruptcy of about $300 a month. Am I correct? Yeah, and the city has not corrected this ledger as far as that assessed value. It's still over $500,000 and currently running. So at this point, I think it'd just be asinine to proceed with this fine, which is greater than the property value. And also the city is also in violation of bankruptcy laws. And I would like to also see a contract that compel performance due to the fact that the property was built in 1938. We are in compliance with what they asked for, so there's no argument against what they're stating. But as far as the fines is right now, the thing is they're making it impossible for the property to be even fixed with the amount of penalties that's been assessed. She inherited the property. It's over $500,000. She has a bankruptcy. You have a bankruptcy order?
Is there a active bankruptcy proceeding right now?
Yes. She's already struggling with those payments right now.
But
My father died of Agent Orange.
My question is the bankruptcy litigation ongoing, or is there a final?
It's been valued at $10,000. Everything else is unsecured debt. You said?
Why don't you go ahead and show that to the city, and then I'll take a look.
Magistrate, can I address this while she's reviewing the document?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
Mr.
Mitch Posner, Code Enforcement. I actually spoke to them several months ago when the case was open. I told them whatever paperwork, contact the legal department. Bottom line, as far as the case today is concerned, the lien from 2007, which is still accruing, has no bearing on that. If it's determined that there's a bankruptcy that wipes that out, that will wipe out the entire lien. If not, as you know, there's a lien reduction process for that. But that has no bearing on the actual case today,
Right.
requiring the boards to be painted.
So whatever liens are, those were old cases, this is a new case.
Exactly. The lien that they're talking about is from 2007.
Yeah, but it hasn't been wiped out from what my understanding.
Yeah, they're still going through that process, but for today's case, for what's left on these violations, the only thing that needs to be done, you did board up the property, but as the notice stated, it does need to be painted to the color of the structure. It just can't.
It's painted.
Since when?
Since I have paint on me right now. The boards are painted.
Okay, well, when I re-inspected it, it wasn't painted at the time, so that's why we're still here.
But that was Monday. We did it Tuesday.
Okay, again.
So once you do the work, you need to let the city know so they can come out and inspect it and take a look.
Well, we had got a permit to board the place up, so we have done that for $50. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like to also address that 500,000. I would like to get that corrected since the city.
Well, so let me just stop you on that. I have no authority to do anything about that in this. This is not the venue for that. This is not, I have no power to change how the property is valued. There is a value adjustment process through the property appraiser and tax collector's office that is available to people who dispute how their property is valued and assessed, but this is not that place. I have no authority to address, you can talk about it all day long here, but there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, but the city has already evaluated it. Before the bankruptcy, it was valued at $70,000.
Again, there's nothing I can do about that here.
Okay.
Nothing. You can talk about it all day. There's no relief I can give you here for that.
But I'd like to have agreement from the city that they have that notice. They should have came to court.
Well, then you can have that discussion outside of this hearing because that is not what I have nothing to do with that. And
but the city is here. They have that document in their hand, so.
Magistrate, the city has no objection to submitting the document with the caveat that as far as how it affects the older lien, a far more thorough review would be needed to determine that.
Let me go ahead and take a look, and if we can if the city has no objection, let's see what we're talking. Is this a copy for the city, or is this?
No, that's you have another copy of that? No, that's the only copy she has.
You'll have to provide a copy to the city if you want this to be part of the record. There's no objection.
Oh, well, we can get it. We can go to the attorney and get another. You can have it then.
Is it the entire packet or just the Schedule D creditor?
Yes, it's assessed at $10,000 of property from what was agreed upon with the city during the bankruptcy court. That's already agreed upon that unsecured credit. Well, the secure credit is $10,000, and the unsecured is what, like $400,000, I think it is.
All right, without objection, I will make part of the record. This is official Form 101 voluntary petition for individuals filing for bankruptcy. I'm just looking for the case number 19-15123 EPK. We'll go ahead and make that part of the record without objection.
Okay.
In terms of this code enforcement case, though, and the violations, it sounds like you've told me you've got some of this stuff taken care of.
Yes, everything so far, as far as what's been asked for, we would need more additional time to get, because of the trash pile not being picked up. I contact sanitation, they agreed that they'll pick it up on Thursday. So I would need more time. We have more trees to cut, which I don't mind. I want to get that property up and running, but I don't want to have just ongoing violations that prevent us from actually fixing the place up.
Let me ask Mr. Posner, so how does that work in terms of getting that stuff picked up? Do they have to do something beyond putting it out?
Contact sanitation, which it sounds like he's saying they already did.
Yeah, they agreed upon picking it up.
Okay, so that shouldn't take more than the 10 days that the city's suggesting for that violation.
I wouldn't think so, but we can extend to 15 days for picking up the trash. And of course, if they comply within the 15 days, they have no fine from this case to worry about.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to have, due to the holidays, I have to hire someone, which is your brother, right? He has a schedule. If you could give us another 30 days, we should be able to rectify that without any problems.
All right.
As far as the trash and the trees.
We'll just agree to 30 days for everything.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
So
Okay.
it gives everyone additional time to try and get it done.
Okay.
All right, anything else, sir?
That'll be all.
All right, anything else from the city?
Nope.
Okay, then in this case, I do find proper notice, respondent is present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to allow 30 days for all the violations to be cured. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day would be assessed until compliance is achieved. Okay, thank you very much. And you said that this copy is...
Yeah, we could get another from a lawyer. I would like to have the city be noticed that we have painted the board, so they are painted, and if they want to look at it anytime soon, they can do that anytime.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have to mail the order. I'll mail the order and I'll mail the backup too. I'll mail the copy of that. Number 51, 725 22nd Street, CE 20090270. Number 51, 725 22nd.
Oh. Just a second here. Good morning. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of Palm Beach. This property was cited September 18th. Certified mail was sent out September 28th. The property and City Hall were posted September 24th. I've had contact with the property owners. The property was cited for 1813B, 1813J, 1816A, 1816B, 7434A1J, 74-4C3, 74-4C4, and 74-4C5. At this time, the property has complied with all the violations with the exception of 1813B. And at this time, the city's asking for an additional 90 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Everything's complied except the
1813B,
the roof repair.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Good morning, I'm well.
As Cassandra stated,
Let me get your name and address.
Oh, Labaz Agui, 725 22nd Street.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
As Cassandra said, we purchased the property in August. There was a young family living there with a bunch of little kids. We didn't want to exactly throw them out. We helped them actually move into a new place. We paid their expenses. There was garbage, like literally up to thigh high. The roof was leaking, as you can see. All the wood on the outside was so badly rotten, we were surprised somebody was actually living there. They moved out in the beginning of November. In the past month, we worked as hard as we can, fixing up the outside, making it watertight, removing all the bad wood, as you can see in these more recent pictures. I have pictures I took last night. The roof is repaired. The outside is all watertight. The only thing that's remaining is, which was not part of the violations, is the windows. When we were removing some of the rotten wood, the windows there were original windows from 50, 60, and the wood of the window frame was rotten themselves. So we had to take out the windows, and we already put an order in for new windows. However, the manufacturer is telling us because of Corona and New Year's, it may actually take 4 months to get the windows and then obviously maybe another 2 weeks or so to install it. So I'm requesting if we could have 5 months to get those windows in. Obviously, if we get it done earlier, if we get the windows earlier, we'll get them in as soon as we can. As we demonstrated in the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks, we changed over the place and did as much as we can to make it just even no more an eyesore to the community.
Yeah, no, that photograph right there from November 30th is
Yeah, they've done a lot of work.
very telling that you've done a lot of work.
Sure,
if you want to show those.
Oh, I've seen them.
Do you have any
Yeah, I've
objection
seen
to those being made part of the record? Or
Yeah,
are they
they
already
can.
in your set of pictures?
No, he took them last night, but he showed it to me outside.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't mind.
So without objection, we'll, the respondent has provided 2 photographs. We'll make those part of the record. And that's, also shows the work. So I mentioned roof just because I saw the code section, but the issue is not the roof, the issue is the
Roof
windows.
walls, foundation,
Okay,
yeah, overall.
I got
yeah.
it. So the respondent is asking for an additional 150 days instead of 90. Does the city have any objection to
No,
that?
that's fine.
I don't either. I'm happy to give you the 5 months, sir. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
Really appreciate it, thank you.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
That's
All right,
it.
I do find proper notice in this case. Respondent is present. I will find that the property remains in violation of 18103B, but has complied with all other code sections that were cited in the notice. I will allow an additional 150 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do we have anyone else present for a matter that hasn't signed in?
Okay, 415 hasn't had a case on it in years. And the case for 437 20th Street
I might be their
was
editor.
closed on December 1st.
I might be their editor. Not the case that before, they have to get witnesses to the case. I want to speak on the case.
Okay, is it a
The
case?
case that you came by and gave us the paper about the garbage can and the shutters on the house and everything?
Is that for 437 20th Street?
Yeah.
Okay,
Take pictures and stuff like that?
the case was closed on December 1st.
Okay.
So it's not on the agenda because it's already a closed case. So it's no longer fine, you've done everything you needed to do. Okay?
Wait, who's that? She wasn't here? She didn't speak?
We're good.
No one else? Okay, number 2 on the agenda, 1132 Okeechobee Road, CE 20110088.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 1132 Okeechobee Road was initially cited on 11/5/20. Certified mail was sent on 11/6/20. Certified mail was returned. The property as well as City Hall was posted on 11/5/20. Property was cited for 18105J, painting of the structure, 18106A, trash and debris throughout the property, 18106B, excessive growth, 74-4-C-5, cleanup of the right-of-way, more specifically in the rear, 78-1, obstruction of the right-of-way. They are parking vehicles onto the sidewalk in the rear of the property, and 94-315-B-1, outdoor storage that requires screening in this particular commercial area. As of last evening, all violations remain. Have not had any contact with the owner of the property whatsoever. I did speak with the tenant. There is a tenant that's renting this particular property. I spoke to the tenant with regard to the violations. The tenant basically said that all of that responsibility totally relies on the owner of the property. At any rate, the city is requesting 45 days in order to comply, or a fine of $150 per day be imposed.
All right, thank you. I will find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. I will find that the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 45 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 3, 7729 77th Way, CE 201000168.
Good morning. City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On October 14th, the property at 7729 77th Way was cited for failure to secure a building permit, required inspections, clean and sanitary, rental license violation, and certificate of use. Property was posted November 12th. Certified mail was sent October 15th. Certified mail was received October 17th. I have since been in contact with the property owner. They have come into compliance with the clean and sanitary, rental license violations, and certificate of use. But they're still outstanding with the building permit and required inspections. With that being said, city's agreeing to 90 days or $100 a day thereafter.
90 days?
Correct.
Okay.
That'll give them enough time to obtain the permit and get the inspections completed.
Okay. I do find proper notice with the posting and certified mail. I will, based on the evidence, find the property remains in violation of 105.1 and 110.1, but has complied with the other sections that were cited in the notice. I'll accept the recommendation and allow an additional 90 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 4, 1390 6th Street, CE 201000425. I will reschedule it. Number 5, 2747 Parker Avenue, CE 200900376.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Officer Sonia Binns, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on September 25th. The notice was posted on September 30th, and certified was sent on September 28th. This property was cited for 18103B, 18103J, 34102A, 94302A4, and 94482A. I have not made contact with the property owner. The property is still in violation for all codes: 18103B, 18103J, 34102A, 94302A4, and 94482A. The city is requesting an additional 45 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
100 per day?
100.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I do find proper notice with the posting and certified mail. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 45 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 8, 3099 Exchange Court, CE 200700004.
Good morning. Joseph Olivas, Chronic Nuisance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was declared a chronic nuisance on 7/1/2020. The declaration was posted on 7/1/2020 and certified mail sent on 7/1/2020. There has been contact with a representative of the property, but no action plan to date. The notice of violation There was a few of them because I had scheduled court a couple of times, but because it was FPL owned, I was kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt. But there was notices of violation posted on 7/16/2020, then one on 8/5/2020, and then one on 11/12/2020. And the certified mail was sent on 7/17/2020, 8/5/2020, and 11/16/2020. Its previous adjudications are CE 180-80574 on 10/9/2018, unsanitary conditions, overgrowth, grass, hedges, blocking the right-of-way, and failure to comply. And then also CE 160504555, 8/29/18, unsanitary conditions, trees and hedges, blocking the right-of-way, and failure to comply. Yesterday, I did an inspection on the property, and there was excessive overgrowth, landscape maintenance, trash and debris, unsanitary conditions, and trees need trimming. The city requests that the special magistrate find a pattern of nuisance activity and enter a chronic nuisance service order for the services to be provided by the city, to include but not limited to landscape maintenance, removal of any trash and debris, trimming of any trees or hedges, and access to the property, and any other abatement methods necessary to keep this property in compliance.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence, that the property it has been properly declared a chronic nuisance, and that declaration is affirmed and ratified. I do find a pattern of chronic nuisance activity. I will enter the chronic nuisance service order, authorize the city to enter the property, abate those nuisance violations, including the removing the trash, the overgrowth and weeds and hedges, and any other abatement that it's required to eliminate the nuisances on the property and assess those costs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 9, 46th Street, CE 200800042.
Good morning, Joseph Oliva, chronic nuisance officer for the city of West Palm Beach. This property was declared a chronic nuisance on 8/5/2020. The declaration was posted on 8/6/2020 and certified mail sent on 8/6/2020. There has been contact with the property owner, and 2 action plans were accepted but were deemed inadequate for not being followed. So I did have contact with the owner. He sent an action plan in. I went to the property like a month later, and the grass was way overgrown, so it was deemed inadequate because he wasn't following the action plan. Then he sent me in another action plan, and the same thing happened. A month later I went, and it was way overgrown, trash and debris on the property, and then I haven't heard from him since. So the notice of violation was posted on 9/17/2020 and certified mail sent on 9/22/2020. The property's been owned since June of 2020. Its previous adjudications were CE 200-60105 on 7/1/2020 for overgrowth, outdoor storage, clean and sanitary conditions, and swale cleaning. And then yesterday I did an inspection on the property, and there was excessive overgrowth, landscape maintenance, trash and debris, and unsanitary conditions. The city requests that the special magistrate find a pattern of nuisance activity and enter a chronic nuisance service order for services to be provided by the city, to include but not limited to landscape maintenance, removal of any trash and debris, trimming of any trees or hedges, with access to the property, and any other abatement methods necessary to keep this property in compliance.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do ratify and affirm the declaration of chronic nuisance. There is a pattern of chronic nuisance activity. I will enter a chronic nuisance service order that authorizes the city to enter the property, abate the violations, including the overgrowth, the trash and debris, and any other nuisance abatement that's required, and assess the cost against the property.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Number 10, 4011 36th Court, CE 201100091.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 4011 36th Court was cited on 11/6/20. The property and City Hall were posted on 11/12/20 and certified mail sent on 11/9/20. The property was cited for 34-102B. I've had contact with the property manager. The property remains in violation. The city is asking for an additional 10 days, $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Accept the recommendation for an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 13 is rescheduled, 812 Flamingo Drive, CE 200800205. Number 14 is complied, 2189 Regents Boulevard, CE 200900015. Number 15, 411 Macy Street, CE 200900362.
Good morning, Officer Lester, West Palm Code. This will help. That will help a lot. Glasses. Okay, this property was cited on, well, not cited, posted on 11/2/2020. Certified mail was signed on 9/29, and it was cited for clean and unsanitary conditions, excessive growth, garbage can in public view, cleaning up one half of right-of-way and adjoining property, address, numbers, landscaping, and landscape maintenance. I have had no contact with the property owner, and I'm asking for 30 days or $50 per day after.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the evidence, that the property remains in violation as cited. Accept the city's recommendation to grant an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 16, 827 Franklin Road, CE 200900375.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was posted on 11/2/2020. I have spoke with the owner on this property, and the property was cited for rental license, certificate of use, which both have complied, garbage can placement, landscaping and landscaping of swell, landscape maintenance, and unpaved parking, clean and sanitary conditions of trash and debris, and excessive growth. And we've come up with 30 more days or $50 per day after.
Did you say they complied with 162 and 2232?
122-32A, yes, sir.
Okay. I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property has complied with City Code Sections 18162A and 2232A, but remains in violation of all other sections cited in the notice. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 17, 410 Franklin Road, CE 201000292.
Complied. Complied.
Number 18, 735 Palmetto Street, CE 201000242.
Richard Pazmino, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited October 20th, 2020. Certified mail was sent October 21st and received October 23rd, 2020. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on October 22nd, 2020. This property was cited for clean and sanitary conditions, including the sidewalk and the fence at the property. Fence maintenance, there's damaged areas in the fence, landscape maintenance, and unpaved parking at the property. I spoke with the owner, discussed all violations. All violations at this time have come into compliance except for 94-302-A-4, fence maintenance. The owner has applied and obtained a permit to replace the whole fence. That's the only remaining issue, and because of that, the city is recommending 60 additional days to get the work done and inspection passed, or the city's recommending $50 a day.
Did you say 60 days to comply?
60 days or $50 a day.
Okay. All right, I do find proper notice. Based on the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of section 94302A4, but has complied with all other sections that were cited in the notice. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 60 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 19, 5400 South Dixie Highway, CE 201000347.
Richard Pazmino, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. This commercial property was cited October 27th, 2020. Certified mail sent October 28th, and the property and City Hall were posted November 6th, 2020. This property was cited for 18103B, repair roof, walls, foundation, 18105J, non-residential paint, and 18106A, clean and sanitary conditions. I spoke with the owner of the property who passed on the notice to the company, the Goodwill, who is leasing the building. And I also had contact with the contractor who's in contract to paint and make repairs at the property. Work has started. The city is recommending 45 additional days to complete the work, to come into compliance, or the city is asking for a $100 a day fine.
How much, 150?
No, 45 days or $100 a day.
100. All right. I do find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 45 days to comply, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 21, 211 30th Street, CE 2010031.
Good morning, Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case in reference to a single-family residence that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posting on October 26th and gave the respondent 30 days to comply for a wall in need of cleaning and painting. This well is in need of sod and the landscaping on our property, particularly the vegetation along the wall, is in need of restoration. The respondent went to hearing in November for an unrelated repeat violation. The property is found in violation at that hearing. While at the meeting on the property for that code enforcement case, the respondent and I discussed these violations and ways to come to compliance, both on the phone and at the property on a few occasions. Some progress was made. However, the wall is still in need of painting and remains in violation of Code Section 18106G. Though the weeds have been cut, this well is in need of sod in violation of Code Section 7894C. Mulch was poured along the wall, and the plants were at the property. However, they're in planters, and they're sort of standing up against the wall. They need to be put inside in the ground. It remains a code section violation 94-446-2. The city is asking for compliance within 30 days or a $100 a day fine be imposed.
I know I've seen this property before. I remember those columns with the soldier tiles.
Right, okay.
Okay. I do find proper notice. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the recommendation for an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 22, 226 29th Street, CE 201000392.
Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case is reference to a single-family lot that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posting on October 30th and gave the respondent 20 days to comply for dead vegetation, boards and brick piles on the property, boarded windows, and unmaintained landscaping, weeds, overgrowth, and some other vegetation on the property that's in need of restoration. Property has been cited in the past for boarded windows and other violations. The respondent has complied in the past. However, I've never been in contact with the respondent. He's never reached out to the city or our office at all, including for this case. As of today, the property has come into compliance with Code Section 18100. The boards have been removed. However, the property remains in violation of Code Sections 18106A. The board and brick piles and dead vegetation remain, particularly in the backyard. And 94-446-2, the weeds and overgrowth in the front have been removed. However, some restoration, including sodding areas of the front yard, needs to take place. And there's some removal of some dead vegetation on the property that's also required. That's in violation of the same code, section 94-446-2. The city is asking for compliance within 30 days or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited, except for compliance was achieved with 18-100. I'll accept the city's recommendation for an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed till compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 23, 444 29th Street, CE20.
As complied.
That's complied. Number 24, 2722 Embassy Drive, CE20110033.
Good morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This address was cited on November 3rd, 2020. The certified mail was sent out November 4th, 2020. It was returned November 12th, 2020. The property as well as City Hall was posted on November 20th, 2020. To date, I've had no contact with the owners. They were originally cited for 18-106-B, 18-106-N, 94-304-D-2-B. To date, all of the violations still stand. I did have contact with the next door neighbor who was upset because there are kids in the neighborhood that play, and the pool is unkempt. It's not. There's no gate up. There's nothing. You could just walk into the property. So I'm asking for 5 days or $500 a day fine thereafter.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence, that the property remains in violation as cited. I will find an unsecured pool to be a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I'll allow 5 days to comply. Compliance is not achieved, I will assess the daily fines of $500 per day. I also authorize the city, after the 5 days, to enter the property, secure the swimming pool, and assess the costs of that against the property.
Number 25, 218 Lyman Place, CE20110042.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on November 3rd, 2020. The certified mail was sent out November 4th, 2020. That was received November 9th, 2020. The property as well as City Hall was posted on November 20th, 2020. To date, I've had no contact with the owner. They were originally cited for 18-106-B and 34-102-A, to which today, as of this morning, those violations still stand. So the city is asking for 5 days or $150 a day fine thereafter.
How much of the fine?
$150 a day.
$150, thank you. All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the recommendation for an additional 5 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 26, 201 Rena Drive, CE20110044.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was originally cited on November 11th, November 3rd, 2020. Certified mail was sent out November 4th, 2020. That was received on November 5th, 2020. The property as well as City Hall was posted on November 20th, 2020. I have had contact with the owner. She was originally cited for 18-106-B, 78-1, and then 78-6. To date, the only violations that remain is 78-6, the address characters, which she did explain to me that she took them down because she wanted to paint the house. However, that was a month ago. She hasn't done anything since. So the city is asking for 10 days or $100 a day fine thereafter.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find that the property remains in violation with City Code Section 78-6 regarding numbering standards, but has complied with the other sections cited in the notice. I will accept the recommendation to allow an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir.
Number 27, 2420 Florida Ave, CE 2008032.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. 2420 Florida Avenue was cited on August 28th, 2020. Certified mail mailed out October 28th, 2020. Property was actually posted November the 17th, 2020. No contact with the owners of the property. It was cited for 18106A, which is clean and unsanitary condition. 94-485G, traffic control aids, and 94-485E, resurfacing of the parking lot. I'm going to ask 30 days to comply with this, or $100 a day thereafter.
What are the missing traffic control
Yeah,
aids?
the vehicle stops are.
What is it?
The vehicle
Oh,
concrete stops are missing.
Gotcha. All right, I do find proper notice in this case. I find property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation for an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 28, 728 N Street, CE 200902250.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, cited this property on September 18th, 2020. Certified mail sent out November 10th, 2020, and posted this property November 12th, 2020. Cited it for 18106A, clean and unsanitary condition, 74-4-C-5, clean up the right-of-way, and 94-302A-E, fence and maintenance. I haven't have contact with the owner of this property, so we agreed they need an additional 10 days to comply, or $100 a day fine thereafter.
What's the fence or wall maintenance issue?
728, that's the wrong picture. 728 N Street. That's 705. Wrong picture.
728
N Street, yes.
That's where I'm at. Why is it saying 725?
Got the wrong one.
See, 728.
Okay. Well, that truck is in the rear of the property. That fence is broken in the back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in the rear of the property.
Got it. All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation for an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 29, 1017 Avon Road, CE 2010032.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, cited this property, 1017 Avon Road, on October 2nd, 2020. Certified mail sent out November 10th, 2020. Posted it November 12th, 2020. And certified mail was received and signed for November 12th, 2020. I cited this property for 18106G, with paint exterior. 94-442E, which landscaping the swell on the parkways, and 7434A1J, which is garbage cans placement. No contact with the owner of this property. I'm requesting 30 days to comply, or $100 a day after.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence that the property remains in violation as cited, I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 30846 Park Place, CE 201000123.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, cited this property October 13th, 2020. Certified mail sent out November 17th, 2020. Posted the property November 19th, 2020, and the certified mail was actually received and signed for November 19th, 2020. I have had contact with the owner, and we agreed she needed additional 60 days for the property to come into compliance. So 60 days or $100 a day thereafter is the recommendation.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation for an additional 60 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, sir.
Number 31, 3503 Westview Ave, CE 201000309.
Good morning. Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3503 Westview Avenue was initially cited on 10/22 of 20 with the notice of violation hand-delivered on 10/27 of 20. Certified mail was sent on 10/23 of 20. Property was cited for 105.1, permit required, FBC 110.3, 9471C, 94-482A, and 74-34A1J. Contact has been made with the owner, who did request more time for compliance. Special Magistrate, the city requests 10 additional days to come into compliance with Code Sections 9471C, 94-482A, and 74-34A1J, are $100 per day until compliance is achieved. For Sections 105.1 and FBC 110.3, the city requests 45 additional days to come into compliance, or $100 per day.
Okay, I do find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to accept the city's recommendation, allow 10 days to comply with City Code Sections 74-34A1J and 94-482A and 94-71C. Allow 45 days for compliance with 105.1 and the building code inspection requirements under 110.3 of the building code. If either of those deadlines are not met, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 32, 3021 Windsor Avenue, 1, CE 201100028.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3021 Windsor Avenue was initially cited on 11/3 of 20 with a notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 11/6 of 20. Certified mail was sent on 11/4 of 20. Property was cited for 18103J, 18106B, 18215B, 74-34A1J, 74-4C3, and 94-302A4, fence repair. No contact has been made with the owner, and all violations still do exist. Special Magistrate, the overgrowth on this property poses a potential threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the community by being a possible haven for rodents, pests, vermin, etc. Therefore, the city requests 10 additional days to come into compliance or abatement for 18106B, 74-4C3, and 18215B, or abatement. All other code violations, the city requests 30 additional days to come into compliance, or $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
Okay. We'll find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I do agree the violations regarding excessive growth, failure to comply, and the overgrowth do constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. For those violations, I'll allow an additional 5 days for compliance. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate those violations, and assess the costs. For 18103J, 7434A1J, and 94302A4, I will accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 33, 1017 25th Court, CE 201100037.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 1017 25th Court was initially cited on 11/3 of 20. Notice of violation was hand-delivered on 11/6 of 20. Certified mail was sent on 11/4 of 20. Property was cited for 78-1, obstruction of city's right-of-way. Contact has been made with the owner, but the violation still does exist. Special Magistrate, the city requests 10 additional days to come into compliance with 78-1, or $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
What, do they have cars parked in the right-of-way?
Yeah, it's about 4 out from the building.
I see, yep. All right, I do find proper notice with the hand delivery and the certified mail. I will find, based on the evidence, property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 34, 1009 25th Court, P&D Auto Sales, CE 201100040.
Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, 1009 25th Court was initially cited on 11/3 of 20 with a notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 11/6 of 20. Certified mail was sent on 11/4 of 20. Property was cited for 78-1 obstruction cities right-of-way and 82-144 expired BTR. No contact has been made with the owner and all violations still exist. Special Magistrate, the city requests a one-time fine of $250 for code section 82-144 and 10 additional days to come into compliance with 78-1 or $150 a day until compliance is achieved.
I will find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. For 82-144, I will impose a one-time fine of $250. For 78-1, I will allow an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 35, 725 42nd Street, CE 201000357.
Good morning, Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 725 42nd Street was cited on 10/26/2020. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall, and certified mail was also sent in 10/26/2020. Property was cited for outdoor storage, trash can placement, trash and debris, inoperable vehicle, and white appliance. As of yesterday, property is still not in compliance. I have not made contact with the homeowner. City is requesting additional 30 days to come to compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I will find proper notice in this case with posting in the certified mail. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 36, 737th Street, CE 201000358.
Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 737th Street was cited on 10/26/2020. Notice of violation was posted in City Hall, and certified mail was also sent on 10/26/2020. Property was cited for work without a permit. They installed a driveway without a permit. As of yesterday, property is still not in compliance. They still have not received the permit. City is requesting an additional 30 days to come to compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
And for compliance, are you looking for applying for a permit or?
She has to obtain a permit for the driveway,
Actually
yes.
get the permit issued, paid for, and?
Correct.
I will find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the evidence, property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance by completing the permitting process. And thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 37, 622 38th Street, CE 201000359.
Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 622 38th Street was cited on 10/26/2020. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall on 10/26/2020, and certified mail was also sent on 10/26/2020. Property was cited for overgrowth, prohibited trailer, outdoor storage, and an inoperable vehicle. As of yesterday, the only violation that has not been resolved was the overgrowth. I have not made contact with the homeowner. City is requesting additional 30 days to come to compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
So the vehicle stuff is all resolved?
Yes.
The overgrowth?
The
Okay.
overgrowth is the only thing that's left.
I will find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the evidence and the testimony, that the property remains in violation of City Code Section 18106B, but has complied with the other sections that were cited in the notice. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 38, 400 Metcalf's Court, CE 201100081.
Christopher Thompson, City of West Palm Code Compliance. Property at 400 Metcalf was cited on 11/5/2020. Notice of violation was posted in City Hall, and certified mail was also sent on 11/6/2020. Property was cited for improper boarding without a boarding certificate. I have made contact with the property manager. They're aware that the boarding certificate is needed. Still hasn't been complied. City is requesting an additional 30 days to come into compliance, or $150 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find, based on the evidence and the testimony, the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation and allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 39, 640 59th Street, CE 201000355.
City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property, 640 59th Street, was cited on October 26th. Certified mail was sent October 26th. Certified mail was received October 30th. This property was cited for 18-106B, 18-162A, 22-32A, and 74-34A-1J. Compliant violations are 18-106B, 74-34A-1J. Remaining violations are 162A and 22-32A. I've had no contact with the homeowner. I had contact with the tenants. City's requesting an additional 30 days or $100 per day after.
All right, so they just have to get the rental license and certificate of use taken care of?
Yep.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. I will find property remains in violation with City Code Sections 18162A and 2232A, but has complied with 18106B and 7434A1J. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 45, 13 58th Street, CE 201000401.
City of West Palm Beach Code, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on October the 29th. Certified mail was sent October the 30th. Certified mail was received November 17th. This property was cited for 26-35-B, 74-34A-1J, 18-106B, 94-71C. Compliant violations are 18-106B. Remaining violations are the 26-35-B, 74-34A-1J, and 94-71C. This is a repeat violation. The repeat violation was cited on March the 12th, 2019, and was complied April the 22nd, 2019. And it was in reference to the garbage can placement.
Okay, so then that was observed on October 29th.
Say again?
The repeat was observed October 29th,
Yes, sir.
and it's still in violation.
Yes, sir.
What daily fines are you asking for that, for the repeat?
$25 per day.
How much?
$25.
25. And then excessive growth, comply. What about outdoor storage?
Outdoor storage is still there. Now there's unpaved parking, and there's still shopping carts that are right by the front two units, by the mailboxes, so that's still there.
Okay, what relief are you seeking on that? Is that part of the repeat violation
No,
as well?
that one was, I have here 10 days to remove it, or $50 per day after on that one.
All right, I will find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property has complied with 18106B, but remains in violation of 9471C and 7434A1J. I will further find that the violation of 7434A1J regarding garbage can placement is a repeat violation based on a prior 2019 case. For 9471C, I will allow an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. For the violation of 7434A1J, I will begin the assessment of $25 daily fines on October 29th, and those will continue to accrue until compliance is achieved.
Number 41 is complied, 5813 Spruce Ave, CE 201000404. Number 42, 619 49th Street, CE 201100054.
City of West Palm Beach Code, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on November the 3rd. Certified mails were sent November the 4th. Certified mails received November the 6th. This property was cited for 18-100, 18-106B, 18-162A, and 22-32A. Compliant violations, 18-106B. Remaining violations, 18-100, 18-162A, and 22-32A. The city is requesting 30 days for compliance or $100 per day after.
All right, we'll find proper notice in this case with the certified mail that was received. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence, that the property has complied with City Code Section 18106B, but remains in violation of the other code sections that were cited. I'll allow 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 43, 628 55th Street, CE 201100076.
City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on November the 5th. Certified mail was sent November the 5th. Certified mail was received November the 7th. This property was cited for 18-106B, 74-34A-1J, and 94-71C. Compliant violations were 74-34A-1J. Remaining violations are 94-71C and 18-106B. The city is requesting 15 days for compliance or $100 per day after.
All right, thank you. I do find proper notice with the certified mail in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property has complied with 74-34A-1J, but remains in violation of the other code sections that were cited in the notice. I'll allow the additional 15 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 44, 2018 Beautiful Ave 1, CE 200300409.
Sandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited September 3rd. Certified mail was received on September 8th. The property and City Hall were posted on September 3rd. I've had no contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 1816A, 3412B, 7434A1J, 7894C, 94442E, 94482A, and 94485B1E. At this time, the property has complied with 7434A1J. The city is requesting an additional 10 days for code sections 1816A, 7894C, and 94442E, an additional 60 days for code sections 94482A and 94485B1E, both at $200 per day.
At 1 or 200, did you say?
Oh, 200 for both.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case with the posting in the certified mail. Did you say the garbage can placement came into compliance?
Yes, sir.
So that complied. 7434A1J complied. Property remains in violation of all other code sections. For the 94482A and 94485B1E regarding the parking and parking area, we'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 60 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. For the remaining violations, what did you want, 30 days?
I'm sorry?
For the remaining, the other violations?
You're asking how many days for them or how much? I'm sorry.
Both.
Okay, so the 60 days is $200.
I got that.
Okay. Yeah, we can do 50 for the others. For the 10 days,
10 days and
$50 a day.
$50 per day. I'll accept that recommendation for the remaining code sections.
Thank you.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 45, 441 20th Street, CE 200803333.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited August 28th. Certified mail was sent out on August 31st. The property and City Hall were posted September 3rd. I've had contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 105.1, 1803B, and 78-6. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 90 days or $50 per day until compliance is achieved. For the roof, I think they're going through litigation with the insurance company and to get it fixed, so.
Usually when you see the blue tarp, that means there's an insurance company. Yeah.
Something going on.
All right. I will find proper notice in this case. I will find property remains in violation as cited and accept the recommendation to allow an additional 90 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 46, 411 14th Street, CE 200900011.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited September 2nd. Certified mail was sent also on September 2nd. The property and City Hall were posted September 3rd. Property was cited for 1813J, 1816A, 1816B, 7434A1J, and 74-4C5. I've had no contact with the property owner. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 30 days for code sections 1813J and 7434A1J. Also, the city is requesting an abate order for code sections 1816A, 1816B, and 74-4C5. 5 days to abate.
5 days and abate, you
Yeah.
said? Okay. All right, I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited for 18103J and 7434A1J. I'll allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved. For 18106A, 18106B, and 74-4C5, based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find those violations constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I will allow an additional 5 days to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate those violations, and assess the costs.
Number 47, 430 14th Street, CE 200900029.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement for City of West Palm Beach. Property was cited September 2nd. Certified mail was signed for September 4th. The property and City Hall were posted on September 3rd. I've had contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 1813B, 1813J, 1816A, 3412B, 7894C, 944462. At this time, the property has complied with all the violations with the exception of 1813J, and the city is requesting an additional 30 days or $50 per day until compliance is achieved. He started painting, he just didn't finish. I don't know why.
Okay. All right, I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code Section 18103J, but has complied with all other code sections cited in the notice. I'll accept the city's recommendation and allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 48, 516 20th Street, CE 200900036.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on September 3rd. Certified mail was sent also on September 3rd. Property and City Hall were posted on September 3rd. I've had contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 1813J, 1816A, 1862A, 2232A, 3412B, 78-1, and 9442A. The property has reached compliance. The property has reached compliance with code sections 1813J, 1816A, 3412B, 78-1, and 9442A. The city is requesting an additional 30 days or $200 per day for code sections 18162A and 2232A.
All right, so they did everything but the rental license.
Yeah, the COU, yes.
Okay. I will find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation of City Code Sections 18162A and 2232A, but has complied with all other code sections cited in the notice. I'll allow an additional 30 days to comply with the outstanding violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 49, 544 19th Street, CE 200900175.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited September 14th. Certified mail was signed for September 19th. The property and City Hall were posted September 17th. Property was cited for 18162A, 2232A, 34102B, 7434A1J, and 9482A. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right. I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 50, 724 22nd Street 1, CE 200900269.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. Property was cited September 18th. Certified mail was sent out September 21st. Property and City Hall were posted September 24th. I've had contact with the property managers. Property was cited for 1816A, 7434A1J, 78-1, 9441B1E, and 9471C. All the violations have been complied with the exception of 94-485B1E, and the city is requesting an additional 60 days or $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property has complied with all code sections cited in the notice except 94-485B1E, which remains in violation. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 60 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 52, 740 22nd Street, CE 200900272.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited September 18th. Certified mail was sent out September 21st. Property and City Hall were posted September 24th. I've had no contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 18113B, 18116A, 18116B, 18265, 34102B, 7434A1J, 74-4C4, 74-4C5, 78-6, and 94482A. At this time, the property has complied with all the violations except with the exceptions of 1813B and 18265. The city is requesting an additional 60 days or $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, they did shared a lot. Then we'll find proper notice in this case. I'll find the property has complied with all violations cited in the notice with the exception of 18106B and 18265, which remain in violation. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 60 days to comply those, and then after that, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Can I just clarify the two that are still outstanding, 18103B and 18265?
I did not hear you. I'm so sorry.
I'm just clarifying which ones are still outstanding, 18265.
18106B and 18265 I found were still in violation.
Is that correct?
No.
18103B.
Yeah, 18103B and 18265.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I misheard you. It's
sorry.
18103B
Yeah.
and 18265 remain in violation.
Number 53, 824 21st Street, CE 201000043.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited October 2nd. Certified mail was received on October 7th. The property and City Hall were posted October 13th. I've had contact with the property manager. Property was cited for 1813J, 1816A, 18162A, and 2232A. At this time, the only remaining violations are 18162A and 2232A, and the city is requesting an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I do find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation of 18162A and 2232A regarding the rental license and the certificate of use. Find the property has complied with the other code sections cited in the notice. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply with the outstanding violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 55, 517 Cherful Street, CE 201000045.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited October 2nd. Certified mail was sent out October 6th. Property and City Hall were posted October 13th. I've had no contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 18116B, 18162A, 18116A, 2232A, 74-4C4, 74-4C5, and 94446-2. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 30 days for code sections 18162A, 2232A, and 944462, or $200 per day, and an abatement for code sections, 5 days or abate for code sections 18116A, 74-4C4, and 74-4C5.
And 18106B as well?
Yes,
Okay.
as well. Sorry about that.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case with the posting and the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will find that the violations, the excessive growth, clean and sanitary, the obstruction of the right-of-way and the cleanup on the right-of-way constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare for those 4 cases. That's 18106B, 18106A, 744C4, and 744C5. I'll allow 5 days to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate those violations, and assess the costs. For 18162A, 2232A, and 94446-2, I'll allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 56, 820 21st Street A, CE 201000200.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited October 16th. Certified mail was signed for October 20th. Property and City Hall were posted November 12th. Property was cited for 1813B, 1816A, 1816B, 1862A, 2232A, 74-4C5, and 9471C. Property has complied with Code Section 74-4C5, 1816B, and 1813B. For the remaining violations, the city is requesting an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I do find proper notice. I want to make sure I heard you right. 18103B is complied. 18106B is complied.
Yes.
And 744C5 is complied.
Yes, sir.
We'll find the remaining violations as cited continue to exist. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
And number 58 is rescheduled, 600 Westwood Road, CE 200800256.
Everything until the, what is it, 11:30 or 11 o'clock?
11:30.
Is it
All right.
11 or 11:30?
We'll stand adjourned until the other matter agenda at 11:30.